Rightio. Obviously, I'm Lucas Erskine, the host of Men Matter podcast. Um, yeah, without further ado, Tom Hunter, take it away. Introduce yourself. Tell us what you're about.
Woo! Yeah. Hey guys. For whoever's listening, I'm Tom. Pretty much I Lucas connected through me on through socials, and you might have seen my like pie videos and my music stuff. And recently I just moved to Aussie. Bit more opportunity and stuff over here, and I'm loving it. So yeah, I'm ready to talk, ready to get straight into it.
Oh, awesome. That's good to hear. Yeah, so obviously you grew up in New Zealand, is that right? Christchurch?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I grew up. So I was about 11. I actually grew up in a small town called Woodville in the North Island, which is sort of around like Palmerston North in the Taurua district. And then yeah, I moved down to Christchurch sort of after the earthquake happened. My dad had work and stuff down there, and yeah, went to school at Christchurch Boys. Great school, El Pedo, till the day I die.
Yeah.
And yeah, here I am in Aussie.
Cool, awesome. Yeah, so obviously you said Christchurch Boys. Yeah, obviously New Zealand's got quite a big, sporting rugby culture. You're quite into the music side of things.
For sure.
Was that
Yeah.
like something hard for you? Did you always know you were into music? Did you play sports?
Yeah, I was love my sports. Like growing up, I played a bit of everything. I was really into rugby. First off, like I think every young man is in New Zealand almost.
Yeah, definitely.
And then when I moved to Christchurch, I played tennis, and I sort of really took a liking to tennis, and boxing and MMA as well. Those are sort of my three main like interests for a long time. And music was something that was just sort of something I liked doing, like it was fun. And then after high school, I met my best mate Ollie, and we sort of got into it. But yeah, in terms of like how music would be hard in like a high school sort of setting, I think it sort of gets shadowed a lot by the rugby culture and or sporting culture, which there's nothing wrong with that sort of culture. It's great, but yeah, there's not much focus on like the smaller activities, like even tennis as well. Like that was
Yeah,
definitely shadowed by bigger sports in New Zealand,
yeah,
100%.
yeah. Yeah, I suppose it's kind of interesting, sorry. You yeah, like you say, rugby and sporting is obviously a big part of New Zealand and what's pushed through the
Yeah,
schools and yeah, music
yeah,
and that sort of thing is sort of put on the back burner. Well, not back burner, but it's not doesn't have as much light shone
yeah,
upon it.
yeah,
Did you
100%.
obviously you said you met up with your best mate and started doing that sort of thing with him? Was that something you always planned
Yeah,
on doing? Was it just on the side or?
nah, like it was crazy when I met Ollie. Sort of backstory for behind the music, I guess. When I first met Ollie, we were just catching the bus like normal kids do after school, and I said to him, "Oh, like I've got I'm having a party tomorrow night." Didn't even know him. I was like, "Do you want to come?" And he's like, "Yeah, right." And so
Yeah.
ended up having this party, and well, Ollie came around first of all, and he just started playing this music. We both realized real quick we had the same sort of music like interests, and he ended up studying. Well, we hung out a lot, and he ended up studying music like after school for about a year, and that really helped. And then I just kept going around. Like I was doing tennis work, boxing. Like I was really jam packed, and I was going around to his house maybe like 9, 10 at night just to get this music done. And it wasn't a fact of like, oh, like let's make great music. It was like we enjoy this, let's keep doing it. It was something that was really nice for both of us to do. We loved it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's sick.
Mm.
It's real sick to hear. Yeah, so obviously with your boxing and that, you're quite into that.
Love
Um,
it, bro.
yeah,
Absolutely love it, eh?
yeah. Do you still do a bit of it or?
Nah, I had a hand injury. Like from my, I was pretty much just doing boxing for tennis fitness, and then I
Yeah,
sort of fell in love with the sport. Um, but then yeah, I had a really bad hand injury at work, and so I couldn't really fight anymore. But like, if there's an MMA card, like I'm right there. I'm watching that live all the time.
yeah, yeah.
Like
That's
I'm
sick.
right there. Hopefully go to that UFC card, and I think it's in Sydney. They're having a fight there. Kai Kara France is fighting.
Oh
So cool.
man, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Mm,
Yeah, I did
yeah,
see that they've got like a fight card every weekend till the end of the year or something, something crazy like
yeah,
that.
that's wicked, eh?
Yeah,
I love that. I love
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I've just started getting into nothing like too crazy, but a wee bit of boxing at the gym just for a bit of fitness, you know.
Love it, bro. That's
Um,
good for it, eh?
yeah,
Keeps you fit.
definitely. Like, yeah, it'd be sick to like be good and like actually know, you know, what to do and how you're doing it. Yeah, kind of just picked it
Yeah,
up on my own and yeah, with
yeah.
fitness.
It's crazy, like boxing with like boxing I found for like my mental health, like when I was like very busy with like work, tennis, like making music and stuff like that, like boxing was just such a good way to mentally sort of, you can't really call it wind down, but to just sort of zone in, and you don't think about anything else when you're doing it. It's really good. And like the thing with the boxing gym, I was at Ring Your Nights, great gym, shout out them, shout out Tish. um, yeah, but that was just awesome. Like everyone there was so encouraging, and I think that's really common for a lot of people to get into boxing when they're sort of going through something, or like any martial art. Like it is really good for
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
definitely. And I think I don't know, for me myself, growing up, going through, you know, it's normal sort of things, bit of anxiety or that sort of thing, like
Yeah,
it's pretty
yeah, yeah,
common to do. I found that getting in the gym, like I'd be, I was probably, I remember I'd be on my restricted license, be like, oh, mum, like 12 o'clock at night, mum, can I take the car, go to the gym? She like knew what was up and she's like, yeah, but it's all good. Like,
yeah,
I think physical activity,
yeah.
gym, boxing, that running, that sort of thing is a good like stepping stone
Mm,
to, you know, take your mind off things and just do something. Just get out of the house, just do something, get
yeah.
your mind thinking about something else.
Yeah, anything like that, eh? Like somewhere where you can zone out, where you can sort of take away that whole thought process. You know, you might be really deep in your thoughts. You might be fucking telling yourself, "Oh, like I'm not doing this right, I'm not doing that." And then as soon as you step in that gym or boxing, fucking tennis, whatever. Like for me at the moment, it's writing music, and like if I've got a pen and paper in my hands and I've got thought process, I sort of treat it as a diary. Like I can write down these words and put them into a whole nother perspective without it sort of having all this attention on it. Like, how would I explain it? It's sort of like if I'm going through something, I can write it down, but you never know. You never know what I'm talking about. It, but just writing those lyrics down and writing things down that's inside my head, like definitely helps with a whole mental health side of things.
100%, I 100% agree with that.
Mm,
I
yeah,
Another thing for me personally, when I a couple of years ago used to go through things, I'd be shot. I'd be in my bed, like just mentally, just
yeah,
like thinking all these things, you know. And I found that
yeah,
writing things down, I'm not no songwriter, no singer, nothing, but just
yeah,
writing
yeah,
things down, getting them on paper, you know, like even if it's like a picture, like describing something in your head, like
yeah,
anything, like just write it down, and
yeah,
it just helps. Well, it helped me clear my mind and just get it all out. Eh?
yeah. 100%, bro. Yeah, the worst thing when I was probably at my worst, like recently, because I used to do excuse me, I used to do shift work in Christchurch. And like I really loved the job. Like when I started there, I was like, this is great, this is perfect for me. But I didn't really realize what effect shift work would have on me at a young age. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you start working those weekends and it's 11 o'clock at night, all your mates are out and you're stuck, you know, at work, and it's just miserable. And so I'd, you know, get home at 7 in the morning when you're meant to be getting up, and I'd sleep throughout the day. I never saw like the sunlight. It was
yeah.
crazy. And that really like put me into a pretty bad place. And it's just crazy. Like you find yourself lying in bed, you don't do anything, and very fast your positivity and everything will just go out the window. You know?
Definitely, especially like when you're working, I don't know, working and doing sport as well. You got that. There definitely is like a
Yeah,
work-life
yeah,
balance as well. And I think
yeah,
sometimes like employers, older people who employ through jobs,
yeah,
especially in the trade, construction, you know, that sort of industry,
yeah.
they're kind of like, oh, work-life balance, like, you know, like they don't really think about it too much. And I
Yeah.
think it is something that is really important.
Nah. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. When I was working, like before I started the port, I was very like, you know, I was training every day, gymming, swimming, whatever. And then as soon as I started shift work, I found like I was only working, and like I'd maybe make music a couple hours a day for a little bit of enjoyment, and that was nice. But just like getting out of the house, I wasn't doing that anymore. And like I'll go to work, and it's guys that have been stuck there for, you know, like 20 odd years. They've been doing the same thing day in, day out. And like, don't get me wrong, lovely guys, like greatest group of people I'd ever worked with. But some of them, like, they just were so stuck in this job. And it's like, oh, you stay here for 40 years, you'll be a very wealthy man. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
there's no there's no outside thinking. There's no, oh, what'd you get up to on the weekend? There's no, what are you going to do with your life? It's sort of like, oh, you should just stay here and work, work, work. Like,
Yeah,
I can do
exactly.
it.
Yeah, that's kind of the same situation that I'm in as well. Like, company that I work for, awesome company, awesome people, but just like a
Mm.
lot of older men. I'd say like a good 60-70% of the company is over
Yeah.
50, like older. They've got their older mentality, you know. And I think times have definitely
Yeah.
changed.
Mm. Yeah. I sort of find like a lot of the younger guys I worked with and like some of my best mates now, like we were all pretty good with like if something was going on, like, it's 3 in the morning and you're working just you two, like you're probably going to say what's on your mind, but you work with some of these older fellas and you can tell something's going on, but they just don't say anything. They just sit there in silence. And I think it sort of goes back to like that day and age where it's like, oh, toughen up, be a
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
like,
100%. I
harden up,
agree.
mate. Why are you talking about that? You know, but
Yeah,
nowadays it definitely is better nowadays. Like people can talk a lot more. Um, but yeah, back in those days, man, like I just feel like it was not healthy and it's sort of carried on to now.
yeah,
Nothing's changed.
yeah, definitely. And I suppose that's kind of one of the main reasons why I've started this, really. Like, um, kind of a bit of background is like just I would have started probably just over a year ago. Just made an Instagram account and I was like, oh, I'm gonna try like make some do a bit of like digital creation, make some things, put them up on Instagram, like just shining the light a bit
Yeah,
more on men's mental health, especially in New Zealand as well.
yeah, yeah,
And then I was like, oh, you know what, like I can do a bit more. I can start like I can make a website, start doing a few blogs, just talk about me and
mm,
my struggles, things that
yeah,
helped me. Yeah, so I
yeah,
started that, and then that when I got right into work and started my apprenticeship, that kind of got put on the back burner because I was in the gym, I was playing rugby, I was working, and I was like, fuck,
yeah,
I don't have much time for this.
yeah.
So then recently, I've actually had a knee injury, so I've been off work. But think
Right.
in some ways, like that's almost a blessing in disguise because I've gone,
Yeah,
well, hold on, I can go back to this. I can actually do something that's actually going to get the word out there. I can start a podcast. I can link with people like you.
yeah,
I can get the word out there and actually
yeah,
talk about it. And yeah, I think it's a lot
yeah,
more like, what's the word? Sentimental if you're actually talking about it,
yeah,
speaking about it, you know?
for sure. Yeah, I find as well, like it's good that you're doing this, man, and it's great. And having that like online access nowadays is everything. Like, because that is where I think most people struggle with is like online. Well, not most, but a lot of people struggle with is that like online expectation. Like, you might see a video of someone in the gym and think, "Oh, I'm not good enough," or some 21-year-old, like, see same age as me, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a millionaire. I don't have to work." And I'm thinking like, "Fuck, why can't I be like that? Why
Yeah,
why can't I do that?" But that social media, having that place to post about men's mental health or just mental health in general is 100% everything, because that's where people are looking nowadays. And if someone's scrolling along, for me, for instance, if I was scrolling and I saw some like gym dude and I have this thought like, fuck, he's massive, like I want to be like that. And then I start doubting myself. And then right under that post, if I saw like a men's mental health thing, like, oh, it's all good, don't have expectations, too high expectations of yourself. Like that sort of stuff is important,
oh,
100%.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, it's quite funny you bring that up because the other day I was scrolling through, it must have been TikTok or Instagram or something, and
Mm,
it was TikTok, and it was showing a photo of this guy in the gym with like shirt off, all the lighting like looked massive,
yeah,
and then it was like
yeah,
a photo of him out of the gym, like just normal lighting, just him standing there, and it's like social media is such a like almost a scam. Like you look at a photo and you're like, oh shit, like look at him, I want to be like that, and then in reality, like if you
yeah,
were to look at them any other day, they're
yeah.
just completely different.
Joe Blogs, standard bloke.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I think yeah, that's such a like a big thing nowadays. Obviously, heaps of people start to, it's all you see. It's pushed through your screens. Like it's all you see, especially in the health and fitness
yeah,
industry, like social
mm,
media, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, fucking everything.
yeah. Yeah, one thing I do really like about like the gym side of things, I was like, yes, like you look at a video and you might like judge yourself, or like it's like, oh fuck, I should be like that. But then that is also very motivational, and like that does get people into that space where they get determined. They're like, right, I'm going to be my better self, better person. Like I'm going to get to that level. That is like the good side of
Yeah,
those sort of things, I think.
definitely 100% agree with that as well. Like, well, yeah, well,
Mm,
that's how I got into it. Like, obviously,
yeah.
just struggling a wee bit, and I was like, look, I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something that's good for me. You know, like get into
Mm,
this. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
And like you're saying, like having that time off that you've got now and saying it's a blessing in disguise, 100%, man. Like if you can realize that as well, I think is the main thing, rather than just like you've got that time off for an injury or whatever, and it's like, oh, okay, I should be resting. But yes, you can rest, but then you can also put yourself to like do so many other things in your day. Like when you start working, or I mean, uni's the same, I suppose. Like you realize how busy life actually is, and like how much shit you've got to get done. And then when you've got that day off, or if you've got a week off, even better. You know, like
mm,
you can get so much done in that week now. It's crazy.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Like, um, yeah, just even it links back to the online thing. Like, yeah, you may be off,
Mm,
have an injury, but there's nothing to stop you from, going online, having a look at things, like researching.
mm.
Like it's so everything's so like accessible these days.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. No, I think yeah, that the online stuff, like personally, like when I was doing um TikToks, whatever, like for me, it's just like a bit of a laugh. But when people start commenting like hateful things at the start, I remember like when I first started getting a few hateful messages, and I was like, fuck, like I wasn't ready for that. Like I wasn't ready for like people being like, oh, like not funny, or like this is shit, whatever, like full on just hate for no good reason. And then
Yeah,
you get down about it, and then you sort of got to look back at it, and it's like these people are taking time out of their day to comment like some useless like comment, like some, they're just doing it for a laugh out of themselves. And I think it's just a reflection like on what their life's actually like, like if they're going on there to take time out of their day to make a comment, like a hateful comment, it's like grow up, hey, like you're just miserable, mate,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
it's
agree, 100%.
ridiculous.
Like, yeah, being obviously it's a brutal, like, would you call it an industry? I suppose so. Um,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, I guess
it
so.
can be brutal as well. Like, for me, I've always thought about like, oh yeah, like making these TikToks would be sick. Like, I love seeing these. Like, I'm in the gym. I've
Yeah,
started like posting a few like gym clips, whatever.
good.
And then
Yeah,
it's just something people are like, oh, they're just like trying to get likes or whatever. But like, you almost create it for yourself as well. Well, for
yeah,
me, like, I film in the
yeah,
gym, make these videos, and I'm like, oh, like I can look back on this progress and be like, yeah, that's mean. Like, put these clips to this
100%.
sound, like that's sick.
Yeah, like, and looking at those videos and having that satisfaction, like you wouldn't post it unless you were somewhat proud of yourself, and like being able to talk about or show that you're a bit proud of what you're doing is important. Like you can't
Mm.
just let that sit there. Like it's good to do those sort of things.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's also like I've gotten to a stage in my life now where I can look back and be proud of myself. And like I think it's
Yeah,
almost like something you have to do. Like you have to look back and be like, yeah, like I can do that. Like this is like look where I was before,
yeah,
look where I am now. Like that's cool to see.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like people always like, oh, like why are you making these videos? Like you must spend so much money on food, and it's like I don't care. Like, if I wasn't posting the videos, I'd still be spending that same money on food. Like, the reason why I do it is because people get like a laugh out of it. Like, people
Yeah,
enjoy this. I might get a comment where it says, "Oh, like I love watching these videos," or "You make my day." Like, those are like the good ones. Those are the ones that's like, "Oh, okay, I should keep doing this." Because at the end of the day, if you're making people happy, like for the cost of nothing, you might as well keep doing it.
exactly. Like
It's
why
fun.
not?
Like, it's
Yeah.
good fun. Yeah,
Yeah, and obviously,
yeah,
like for me, how I first seen you was on TikTok, seeing you doing the pie reviews and that. Did you mean
yeah,
for it to
yeah.
take off? Was it just kind of something you just randomly did one day and it just
Nah,
took off?
yeah. Nah, I remember I used to make like just random TikTok videos, like especially in lockdown. I think was when I started doing TikToks, and I was just following like trends or whatever, like just because I thought they were fucking funny.
Yeah,
And then yeah, like smokers, I was eating pies every day. Like I always have. I'd say for about 4 years, I was having a pie day. Like my gut's gonna fucking hate me for it later in life, but that's a problem for later. Um, but yeah, I pretty much just posted this video, a pie one, and all the boys were like, "Yeah, it's funny, like do this one next, whatever." And I did this video, and it did like 150K overnight, and I was like, "What the fuck? Like, why are people wanting this?"
Yeah.
And then yeah, I remember going into the local bakery the next day, and they were like, "Oh, here's a pie on us," and I was like, "Why?" They're like, "Oh, we sold out of that exact pie you did a video on last night within like 30 minutes," and I was like, "Shit, like that's kind of cool." And so then yeah, that was my local for a year and a half, and yeah, I pretty much just kept making the videos. They kept doing well, and sort of just branched out to other food and stuff like that. Like that was just
Yeah.
it. But yeah, no intention for it to take off. It just did. So I just ran with it. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. That's sick. I think that's
So
almost
yeah,
sometimes like
yeah,
something that happens as well. Like you just do something and it takes off by mistake, and you're like, oh, like what? Like a bit confused almost.
yeah, yeah. It was very odd, man. Like it was real weird, but like it's still going.
Yeah,
People still like the videos, so I'm just gonna keep doing them.
yeah, that's
I
mean.
guess.
Yeah, my girlfriend's actually from Christchurch, and we went to the
Oh yeah.
sushi ball house in Island Road.
Oh, so good, eh? So
Out the
good.
gate, bro, like massive rice
Yeah,
balls,
bro.
so cheap.
Yeah, yeah. I remember my missus, like there was someone else that did a video from there, and my missus was like, "Oh, we should go try the sushi ball house," and I was like, "Yeah, right." And I tried it. Like first time I tried it, and I was like, "Holy shit! Like this is that good." We're like, I have to do a video on this. Like
Yeah,
I have to tell the people, and I did. And that video went crazy, but um. Oh, it's nothing like that place. That's one of the main things I'm missing being in Australia right now is fucking
yeah,
sushi ball house just down the road, eh?
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. That's what I was going to ask you. What is the like quality of food? What's the difference? Like I seen you do a video on Red Rooster.
Ooh. Oh, that was shocking, bro. Red Rooster, like I said in the video, but like top three hated animals of all time. That Red Rooster, bro. I'm not going back there. But yeah, I find like the foods, the meat quality, I think is better back home.
Yeah,
But like the fruit and stuff here, like I love fruit, and like
yeah,
the fruit here is
definitely.
just so much better.
Hmm.
Fresh, juicy, the goodness, mate. It's right there, eh?
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
it.
that's awesome. Yeah, I like to. I
Yeah,
don't know. I've kind of come up with something in my head, a little bit of like a segment, called Hidden Gems. Do you have any like
yeah,
hidden
yeah,
talents or like
yeah.
unknown facts that aren't really portrayed on social media or other people that know you?
Um, Not really. I mean, like the one thing that I sort of kept in the back for a long time was the music, but
Yeah,
um, maybe like I don't know, maybe like boxing or something, because no one really knows that I do that.
yeah.
Well, I
Well,
actually tennis. No one knows that I really play tennis
yeah.
on online. But hang on, let me find a racket and I'll do a wee racket trick for you. Give me a
Righto.
second.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, yeah, my bats. There it is. Here it is, mate, in all its glory. If I
Far
can do
out.
this sitting
Look
down,
at
no, I
it.
probably can't. I won't. Yeah, this is the Yoni special. Yeah, this is the racket that. Well, me and my whole tennis team, my prems team last year, we made the semis, which is good. But this is the racket that we all sort of took a liking to, a real beauty. I
Yeah,
can't actually do any racket tricks yet because I don't have any room. But yeah, if I had any hidden talent, it'd be tennis that people
yeah.
don't know about.
Cool. Yeah. Well, obviously, I had no idea that. Yeah, tennis and boxing and that sort of thing, which I think is really cool as well. Like,
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah,
people. I don't know. I suppose people like me, like they only see you through social media. Like that's what you do. That's
exactly.
and then you don't
Yeah,
really get to
yeah.
see the behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's crazy meeting like other people that are on social media and stuff like that, like an online presence, whatever. Like one of my best mates, like I won't say his name, but um, he was like really like ladies love that man. Like he's super handsome, good looking bloke. And before I met him, I was like, this guy's like, like pretty boy, whatever. And I met him, and I was like, what's up, bro? He's like, yeah, g'day. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, and, I was like, oh, what do you do? He's like, I'm a Sparky. And I was like, fuck it off. Like, end up talking to him. He played guitar as well. And yeah, he's like one of my best friends now. So like that, after that, like prejudging people on social media, like I don't do it anymore. Like
Yeah.
you never know what someone's like behind the scenes, eh?
100%. Also, like in terms of mental health as well, like you look at someone and you're like, they look, it sounds bad to say, but some people may be like, oh, they look like worse off, like righty, righty, right. But
Yeah,
you never
yeah.
know what's going on inside someone's head. You never
No,
know what's going on with their family, like anything.
no, never. And like you'll find like the happiest people on socials tend to be like the saddest,
Oh,
like that's
100%.
just how it is, I think.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think that's,
So yeah, yeah, you were saying?
oh, I was just going to say that I think it's like pretty important, to always like remember that,
Yeah,
like, obviously, I'd say like a lot of people go through things and you just think like, just take a second moment to think and be like, oh, maybe they're going through something as well. Like.
yeah, yeah. It's never what it seems, eh? Like, and I think the main thing for like social media and stuff, people that people prejudge a lot, and I think if people can stop doing that, like it just be a bit like a way safer online space. Like if people stop coming in with negative comments, like people could have like viral videos, but people don't want to do it because they don't want to get judged and they don't want to get
Mm,
hate or whatever. But if you can sort of block that out, like that's great. But if it wasn't there in the first place, even better.
exactly. Yeah. That's a thing for me as well. Like I said before, I've always thought about
Yeah,
like making content, doing things, and then and that
yeah,
thought in the back of your head, and it's just like, oh nah, like what's everyone else
yeah,
gonna think? Like, what are these people gonna think? Like.
yeah. But you're better off just doing it and then like you're better off just doing it rather than later on in life being like, man, I wonder what would have happened if, or like what could have been, like if you've got an idea, if you've got something you want to do, just do it. Like there's no harm in it. And if you get hate, like that's just people probably being jealous or,
Yeah, exactly.
you
That's
know,
a more reflection
just
of
don't
them
don't
as
worry about
well.
them. Yeah. Yeah. That was
100%.
yeah, it's like if I don't have a crack at what I want to do, like a proper crack, like I'm gonna regret it forever. So I don't care what anyone says anymore. Like you just got to do it, man. You got to do it.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, with you, Tom, and your music and all that sort of thing,
Yeah,
if there was, I'm going to put you on the spot here. If
go.
there was one piece of advice you could give to someone sort of in your situation that wants to pursue that, but it's, too scared of what other people think, what's one piece of advice you'd give them?
Yeah, just music is its own like art form in itself. Music is an art, right? So like, and in art, I don't think there's anything that's wrong. Like, it sort of portrays what you're thinking or what sort of headspace you're in. So if you've got something that you think other people don't like, put it out there anyway, because like odds are someone in the world's going to agree with you. And like if one person does, then their friends probably do too. So just make whatever you want to make. Like do what you have to do to get where you want to be, and just keep doing it. Be consistent, because with music, if you're not consistent, like you're sort of, I don't know, you're not letting yourself get to that full potential. So consistency is everything.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
cool.
my wee bit of advice.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously, with you and your music and your opportunities that you've had, was there one
Mm.
sort of moment that you can pick out that you realize like, shit, I'm going to pursue this. Like, I've got something good here.
Yeah. Um, I don't know, like I think music for me, like and Ollie as well. Like Ollie, he's my best mate. We're living together now. He's the one that got me over to Oz pretty much. Um, we wouldn't make music unless it was fun. But yeah, one part we sort of picked out was when we made a song, and I posted a video, just a snippet of it online on TikTok, and it blew up, and we were like, okay, like what's going on? And Ollie called me, he's like, bro, check the video right now, and I like looked at it, and I was like, holy shit, like 400,000 views or whatever it was. And then we had like some big artists comment, like a few big artists comment, and like that's when we sort of realized like, okay, like we should
Mm.
probably stop like sort of just chilling with it. Well, not chilling, we still do, but like we should look into this and see what we can actually do with it, because at the end of the day it's what we love, it's a passion, it's never going to be a chore. So if we can make that our lifestyle, then that is like the dream.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so cool to hear
Yeah,
as well. Obviously that
yeah,
um that happened, and obviously you've just been like, yep, this is us, like this is what we're doing.
Yeah,
Obviously you moved to
yeah,
Aussie. Was that solely just for music as well?
pretty much. Yeah. Or I mean, like I was working back home full time, um, doing shift work. Ollie was working full time in a trade job, like morning shift, and our shifts would never line up, so we wouldn't have time. But coming over here, like I work in the mines now, but I work as a casual, so like
Right.
pretty
Yep.
much like 1 day a week guaranteed, maybe two. But even that 2 3 days, I'm getting the same like money back home. So
That's
like it gives
crazy.
me that flexibility, like it gives me the flexibility to have like 3 4 days a week when we can just make music if we want to make music or just chill out. Like
Yeah.
just moving over here just because it's flexible with everything and you can actually do what you want to do.
Yeah. That's crazy. I've heard the mines are obviously good money, crazy money compared to New
Yeah,
Zealand.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's just like, I mean, back home, like you've got guys that are qualified earning the same money as someone a first year would make first year in a trade, like
Yeah.
first year. It's crazy. I think it's just better money, more opportunity here. And like, yeah, I do miss home, but like it's just nice having that flexibility and be able to do what I sort of want to do now.
Yeah, cool. Yep. That's awesome. Yeah, oh well, I
Mm.
think we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, man. It's been
Awesome.
been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, no, thank you for coming on. What sort of plans do you have in the future? New music coming out?
100%, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, in a couple of weeks, we've been working on a song pretty hard the past few weeks, and hopefully we've got a new release coming out in a couple of weeks. So that'll be fun. And got offered to play our first like live gig in September. But yeah, we just got to practice and yeah, just see what happens with music. Pretty much, like I'm
Cool,
here to
bro.
chase a dream. So if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then at least have to go. Yeah,
Definitely. Go for it, bro. No, I'm backing you all the way.
yeah.
That's sick.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
No,
Oh
it's
well.
been great talking to you, man.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you very much for jumping on, and we'll have to do a
All
vol
good,
too
bro.
sometime.
100%, mate. Just let me know. I'll be there.
Sweet as. Thanks, mate.
All right. See you later, bro. Bye.
See ya.